I overheard that my husband of 10 years never really loved me and he only got with me because I allowed him to live his life on easy mode. Now he wants me to forget about it and continue living in a lie, but I can't. My whole world is crashing right now. I never thought that this could happen to me. I am deeply in love with my husband and I thought he loved me too. My husband Sam and I met after college at a book club. We fell in love and married a year later right out of college. I honestly thought that my life was a dream come true. He was kind and silly and he made me feel loved. I found out last week that my husband never loved me. I overheard Sam talking to his friend on FT when he thought I couldn't hear. His friend was congratulating Sam on bagging me, because I'm loaded. That's not true. Though I make a decent living and my parents recently had some success in their business abroad, I don't make nearly enough to be considered wealthy, perhaps upper middle class at best. It's not like I can quit my job tomorrow and be set for life. I'm a financial analyst and make $300,000 working 70 hours a week. Sam is a customer service advisor for a bank and makes $50,000 working 35 hours a week. Edit, yes, I was in investment banking out of college. Sam has had this job for 4 months. He has a spotty work history due to not getting along with his bosses. Sam then said that all his planning paid off and he'd lived the easy life. His friend added that he couldn't imagine being married to me, waking up to my face. I've never been very attractive, I'm very skinny and have a thin face and a wide nose, but Sam made me feel like the most beautiful woman in the world. Sam just laughed and said it's easy when you have the mindset. I pretended I didn't hear and went back upstairs and just lied in bed. I've been sleeping on the couch with the excuse of working late and not disturbing him. Every time, I've woken up in our bed with him cuddling me. I don't feel loved. I feel used. I don't know what to do. Update 1. Last night I came home late and my husband was waiting for me. He had been blowing up my phone for the entire day, spamming me with accusing, but not untrue messages. The conversation did not go well. He accused me of avoiding him, which was true. I just couldn't look at him. I used work as an excuse. He said I was withholding affection from him. He also accused me of being unfaithful to him, which was never true. I have a new co-worker who just started approximately 2 weeks ago and Sam was convinced I was having an affair with them. I told him I didn't even know that co-worker. How could I have an affair? I finally told him about what I overheard and how hurt I was. His response was to deny ever having that conversation and deny ever saying anything. He told me I probably misheard something or hallucinated due to stress. I received several very helpful messages about a post my husband might have made. Though some of the details don't match up, most of it do: our salaries, the time we've been married, the couch thing, and I asked him if he wrote the Reddit post. He told me he doesn't do Reddit but didn't outright deny making the post and asked me what I was doing on my phone all day for the past few days, which was reading all your messages on this throwaway. I told him that and he looked incredibly upset. I told him that what he did really hurt me and he still insisted it never happened. I asked him if he ever loved me and he said, "Don't be stupid, of course I do. You're the one cheating on me." I told him I never cheated on him. It felt like the conversation was going in circles. I brought up the possibility of a postnup, and he scoffed and said he didn't want a divorce. If I tried to divorce him, he had a right to a lot of alimony. That part is true. Our state has strong alimony rights for spouses with salary differences. He only had his job for a few months and it's the highest paying one he has had. He said, "Who's going to take care of you when you're sick if you try to divorce me?" I asked him if he ever lied to me or hid things from me and eventually he admitted that the way we met wasn't an accident. He knew who I was and that I would be there, pretended to stumble into me as an excuse to make conversation. I demanded counseling as a first step and to my surprise he agreed. At that point, I was getting a splitting headache, not a migraine, which I also get often. I went to bed and he gave me a glass of water and medicine and we just didn't bring it up. I took today off work because I feel burnt out. I don't feel like anything is resolved. Now I doubt myself and everything I heard. If I truly didn't hear that, then I blew up my marriage for nothing. If he did say that and he's capable of lying for 10 years, then why would I stay with him? At least we're getting marriage counseling and therapy for myself. Update 2. We've had a few short, but devastating conversations since then. Based on Reddit advice, I tried to get evidence that he was with me for my money. After my husband reluctantly admitted that we didn't meet on accident, I pushed and found out the reason he pursued me is that I'm stable, and I would do everything for him and never leave him. His birth mother left when he was young, leaving his family very poor until his grandfather died. I feel sorry for him and understand why he did this, but there's a small, selfish part of me that wonders why he chose me for this life. I thought I recorded him but nothing shows up in my phone. It doesn't matter since we are an all-party consent state. Sometimes I wonder if I was blind. Sam is far more attractive than me, though my own preference tends to lie in the unconventional. I should have realized he is not attracted to me and that it was one-sided love. I am not beautiful compared to other women and when I try to wear makeup or fashionable clothes, I can tell he is not impressed. I thought it was because he liked me better natural. My mother used to say a pig wearing makeup is uglier than a pig. I understand that now. That's partially the reason why I could not stand pretending everything was alright. My love language is touch. I constantly like to hug him or hold his hand or stroke his back or pet his hair. Knowing that he only tolerates my touch horrifies me. I don't want to be the source of someone's discomfort. I'm also ashamed of being so vulnerable, knowing that he hates who I am and the way I look, knowing that he has seen me in my most vulnerable moments. I don't want to be a burden. After one night where I locked myself in the bathroom and slept in the bathtub, he hasn't been moving me from the couch. I think the reason he moved me is to pretend our life hadn't changed rather than any real concern for me. That's why he complained about me withholding affection. I went back to work and continued the routine I had done for a few weeks, working as much as possible until I had to go home. I cried a lot at work. I passed out at work one day, and when I woke up my boss told me to go home. He was angry. I tried to drive home, but I still felt woozy, so I parked in a car and fell asleep. I was awoken by a police officer who gave me a warning for sleeping in a car. Apparently, that's a red flag for DUIs. I drove home and Sam was furious. He somehow had known that I was sent home early. He demanded to know who I was with. I told him the truth. Sam has been sweet to me since. He hasn't taken off work and he only does about an hour of real work a day, which strangely makes me envious of my own husband. Sam has been making sure I rest, making all our meals, and doing the chores. My work has demanded that I take off at least 2 more weeks of sick leave since my episode at the office. However, they are also simultaneously making me do work, and implied that my performance bonus will be impacted by my stunt. If I divorce my husband, the consequences will be beyond me losing the love of my life. My parents will cut me off from our family. They will not let me see my grandparents ever, who are in very delicate health. My grandparents raised me as a child when I was sent back to live with them in our home country. My family would not be surprised if Sam divorces me. My parents even told me at our wedding that he will leave me and that I should have married the man they arranged, who wanted me for my citizenship. I will not have any support. In a feverish state, I once offered to give him all of my savings and pay alimony for life if he filed for divorce, and he told me to shut up and sleep. I don't know what conditions I can set for the divorce. I'm losing my husband, I'm losing my grandparents, maybe even my job. What do I do? Update 3. My husband Sam and I agreed to marriage counseling to see if we could save our marriage. This is an out-of-pocket expense. Before we could go to our first session, we had to fill out several forms and questionnaires. One question asked about any diagnoses we had. My husband revealed that he had been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and relationship obsessive-compulsive disorder 2 years ago. I knew he went to a psychiatrist/neuropsychologist, but he just said they found nothing and there was nothing wrong with him. I was shocked because he never told me. When I asked why he would hide this from me, he said that it was his medical history and I couldn't leave him for something not under his control. Sam is not in therapy. Obviously, I would have supported him and gotten the help he needed. Ever since this came out, Sam has been saying that if I divorce him, I'm abandoning him and that it would be proof I never loved him or care about him. That's not true. I do love him. That's why I'm doing this. If I divorce him and pay alimony, he'll find someone he's actually in love with. We'd both be happy. Sam has not given me a moment of space, but to be fair, I had a high fever a few days ago. Sam said he wants life to go back to normal before all this happened, and we were happy, but I don't understand why he would want to continue to live a lie. I'm offering him a way out and he refuses. Is it because of his diagnoses? How do we move forward from this? Is marriage counseling even worth it? Am I making a mistake?